everybody, welcome to Sports for All. I'm your host Eden, and today I've got a very exciting guest. So, do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
My name is Haruna Muhammad Abubakar. I am from Kebbi State, Nigeria. I have background in sociology, social research, community development, and humanitarian service. I am the national president of Ummati International Charity Foundation, a youth-driven organization working to support vulnerable communities.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I am so excited for our conversation, and I have seen the amazing work that you're already doing. So, I'm very excited for everybody else to hear more about it as well. So my next question is, do you want to tell everybody about your sports background and maybe if you did any sports when you were younger as well?
Yeah, sport has always been part of my life, especially football. Growing up in Nigeria, football was more than a game. It was one of the easiest ways young people come together, make friends, settle differences, and build confidence. I played football casually with friends and community youth. Later, through my humanitarian work, I began to see sport as something bigger than recreation. It became a tool for connection. Even in UIC Foundation, we have used football and other friendly supporting activities to bring young people together, encourage teamwork, and promote peaceful interaction among communities. Yeah.
I really love that, and I think you're really right. I think the
Yes.
power of being involved in sport, especially from a young age, it really gives you that team and that community, and that it can really help people bring together, even if you're from a different background or you're different ages, or yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
really important. So you touched on your background in kind of social research, community outreach,
Yeah.
sociology. What led you to getting involved in that work, and how did the journey lead to the creation and growth of the UIC Foundation?
Okay, my background in sociology helped me understand that many social problems are connected to poverty, lack of opportunity, poor access to basic services, and weak community support system. Through social research and field experience, I began to see people struggle more clearly, especially in rural and underserved community. And also, UIC Foundation grew from that understanding. What started as a small effort among young people become a formal humanitarian platform. We wanted to move from sympathetic to action over time. The foundation expanded into areas such as clean water, education, health support, feeding program, opens welfare and community development. For me, sociology gave me the knowledge, but community outreach gave me the responsibilities.
I love that so much. I really relate because my own studies and stuff of like I don't study sociology specifically, but one of my modules this year was around psychology, and it's really interesting to see the link between community
Yes.
being involved in different sports and how different aspects impact on young people's lives. And it's really exciting to hear a bit more about the foundation and what you guys are doing through that and how you're building young people's confidence and skills, which we will definitely touch on upon throughout the rest of our conversation. Like,
My biggest inspiration are people who serve quietly and sincerely. I have learned a lot from community leaders, volunteers, family members, mentors, and ordinary people who give from the little they have. I am also inspired by the young people who continue to volunteer with UIC Foundation. Even when there is no financial reward, their commitment reminds me that leadership is not about position, it is about sacrifice, patience, and consistency. Personally, my faith, my family, and people I met in the field kept me grounded. They remind me that service should be done with humility and compassion.
that is such a good answer. It always really interests me whenever I ask people like who their biggest inspirations are and also what kind of impact that those people have on their lives. And yeah, it's so nice to hear that people within your community have really had that impact on you. So the next question is, you've talked about sport as a tool for peace building, inclusion, and youth empowerment. Why do you think sport can have such a powerful impact beyond just physical activity?
Okay, football is powerful because it speaks a language everyone understands. You do not need to be rich, educated, or from a particular background to participate. Once young people enter the field, they begin to see each other as teammates, not as rivals. In our community, football helps to reduce idleness, build friendship, and create a peaceful space where young people can interact. It also gives organizations like ours a chance to speak with youth about education, peace, health, discipline, and responsibility. Sometimes a football match can open door that a formal meeting cannot open. Just giving example with today, we just visit an orphanage home, and by the time we visit the area, the location, we saw them playing. Then we just join them with our volunteers and play together. We just laugh and we interact. We just have a friendly interaction with the orphans. So honestly, football is almost a powerful tool also to deliver a message, to speak of, to understand even the children, and they can explain to you what are exactly the challenges or the problem they are facing in in their life.
I love that so much. I really agree. Like even just today, like is just one example of I'm sure you've seen, but you're so right. Even despite any kind of differences in backgrounds, everybody can come together and they understand the game and they understand the rules and it can
Yeah.
open up more conversations and I think people can really grow in relationships between like the players 100%. I think it has so much positive impact. So kind of on a bit of a different note, what do you think some of the biggest challenges are facing young people within your community, but also maybe wider as well? And do you have any advice for organizations or other leaders on how they can support these young people to overcome the barriers or support them while they're facing those challenges?
Many young people in our communities face unemployment, poverty, limited access to quality education, drug abuse, lack of mentorship, and poor access to opportunities. Some have talent but no support system. Others have passion but no guidance. Organization can support them by creating a practical opportunities, not only giving speeches. This can include like skills training, mentorship, support engagement, education support, small grants, awareness programs, and platform where youth can lead and contribute. Our young people do not need only help; they also need trust, direction, and also to add responsibility.
That is such important points. I think you've touched on quite a lot, like of barriers there, and I think you're so right. Like having that mentorship and those people within the community and your sports community to look up to and ask for support and guidance when you need it, is so important. And I know, like even for me, growing up, my coaches and the other members of my club, like even the parents as well, had such a huge impact on me as a person. And I think also you're so right. Often young people have the talent, but maybe they don't have the resources or that support system available to them. And it's about how can we work as a team to create that safe space and give those young people those opportunities that they really deserve. So much of that really resonates with me. Really good answer. Thank you so much. Um, so my next question is, what are your hopes for the future of the foundation and also the communities that you serve?
Yeah, thank you for this question again. My hope is to see UIC Foundation grow into a stronger, more trusted humanitarian organization, not only in Nigeria but beyond. I want us to reach more communities with clean water, education support, health outreach, feeding programs, open care, and youth empowerment. I also hope to see the communities we serve become more self-reliant. Humanitarian work should not only solve today's problem, it should also build dignity, confidence, and long-term community strength. For UIC Foundation, the dream is simple: to keep serving people with transparency, compassion, and real impact. Yeah.
That sounds so exciting, and you guys are already doing such amazing things. And I think You're so right. It'll only go strength to strength, and I'm so excited to follow along and see. And maybe it'll come. Some of the work will come to Northern Ireland
Yeah.
if you go worldwide. I think that community piece and growing that community is so important. And I know, like even through my work with this podcast as well, it's been so nice to be able to expand it to places beyond my little part of the world. I'm very excited to see what you guys continue to do, and I'm gonna obviously put the links and
Yeah.
stuff so that other people can follow along and try and get involved as well.
Yeah.
So my last question, I can't believe we're on the last question. I've loved our conversation. But my last question is, what advice would you give to a young person who wants to make a positive difference in their community but doesn't know where to start?
Okay. I will always like to give this advice. You know, my advice is to start small. Do not wait until you have a lot of money or a big organization. Most of our activities and program, we used to look out a zero budget project, like the project that does not require large amount of money. Even impacting knowledge or creating awareness, I think it will serve the community. Look around your community and identify what one problem you can help with. It may be helping a children with school materials, just like simple, cleaning a public space, visiting the sick. They are all part of our humanitarian activities, supporting an opens or mobilizing friends for a small project, like even organizing a sport activities like football within community. It will also bring the community closer, and you will likely to understand the challenges they are facing and will probably have the solution to that challenge. And be sincere, be patient, be consistent. Also document your work properly and build trust with people. You know, a small act of habit can grow in powerful when it is done, when honesty permits me. I would like to cite example with just our recent project, Fuel for Water Relief Initiative. You know, there is power outrage in our community. There is no light to pump so that people can have access to water. So in our organization, we just decided that let us do something to solve this kind of challenge. We look at the house that have pump and generator that they cannot afford to buy fuel. Then we just buy the fuels and fuel the generator so that they can pump the water. And many communities, many individuals in the community will just come and fetch the water. And this solve a lot of challenges because it has been almost like 10 to 15 days there is no light in the community. But during this, our fuel for water relief initiative, it solved a lot of issues. You know, it's looking at the project does not require large amount of money. With just small amount of money, we just buy fuel and pumps. And seeing the big impact that is making, women and children will have access to safe and clean water during that challenges time. So to start small, you don't have to, like I just firstly say that you don't have to have a large amount of money for you to start giving back to your community. Even having interaction with maybe your fellow colleague or your friend, it also can make impact to their life. So without money, you can feel someone help. And you know, also the advice I would like to give again is that they say givers never lack. No matter how, try to do something to your community. No matter what, just try. Even if you don't have money, you can think of something that let me give this service to my community. So thank you.
Wow, so much amazing advice within that. I think everybody can take away so much, especially the whole piece about because I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves when you find an issue and you want to solve it. Sometimes you kind of get that imposter syndrome and how do I even go about doing this? Like I need so much money, I need loads of
Yes, yes, yeah,
resources. Um,
yeah,
yeah, and I think the example that you gave just shows how much an impact you can have on people and the area, even if you
yeah,
don't have massive money. It's about making that step to make things better. And I think people just need to get over those fears, which can be hard at times, but I think making that step, finding an issue you care about and taking action is just so important. And I think as we've talked about so much on this podcast, working as a community to do that can really make all the difference. such a good way to end off this episode. So thank you so much for coming. It's been so nice to talk to you, and I think my guests will take away so much from what you talked about. So thank you so much.
Yeah, also, thank you for having me. And uh, I really, really appreciate for this opportunity to present myself and to present my organization. I am forever grateful for you and thank you so much. I really,
Um,
really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for listening to my podcast. If you want to connect with me further, you can find me on LinkedIn at Eden Byrne, and be sure to check out all the other amazing podcasts on Be the Change Media Network.